Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of CPP4Beginners.com's tutorials on learning C++. I'm Damien and I'm your host. This is going to be lesson number 30 and we're going to talk about pointers. Not because I want to, but because we have to. So, okay. Pointers are an extremely important part of C++. They're a relic to the language C. We're not going to talk too much about C or why they were so important in C, but what we will talk about is how they work in C++. Over the next few episodes, I'm going to be showing you guys how pointers work in conjunction with arrays, how they work in conjunction with vectors, and how they work in conjunction with dynamic memory allocation. All three of those things are are where pointers play a huge role. So, a very simple example of a pointer is just going to be something like this. We're going to take a regular int and call it int a. And we're going to set it equal to 50. Just set it to just some random value. We're going to make another int, and we're going to call it a pointer, a ptr. And that's it. Actually, no, that's not it. I'm sorry. And we're going to make it point to the reference of a. I'm sure that you guys remember that reference operator from functions, right? Right? Okay. So, at this point, if we simply cout a ptr, we should just have a cout of 50. What's going on here? Oh, okay, well, apparently I didn't do that. Oh, I'm sorry. That's actually the memory address of a pointer. I was just about to show you guys that and say don't confuse that, but apparently I kind of took out my own gusto. Now, when we put the actual dereference operator, that's what this little multiplication sign is called, before the variable a pointer, it points out, what's in this value of a. But when we remove it, it actually prints out the memory location where it resides, which is 0x28cd34. Chances are good you will never need that. So if you're using an array, always remember your dereference operator. That's somewhat important. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are these important? That didn't do anything. I mean, you could have just used a, and you are absolutely right. There is no reason why that should be even remotely important to you, because in truth, it really isn't. However, when we get further into it, pointers are going to play a much more integral role to how we both access and store, or not store, but access and set up different types of storage. So let me show you guys a good example of why these pointers are important. Now, before we continue, I just want to show you guys a little thing here. Let's say I have a pointer, and I want to change the value in a to 100. Now I'll just cout a. And once that gets built, we have 100 now stored in a. So it goes both ways. When we're setting a pointer equal to a, whenever we change a pointer, it changes what's in a. So it goes both ways there. Now, what if we were to declare an array of ints? Let's just say array ints. And we're going to set it to, you know what, we're going to set it to 5 spots because I'm feeling kind of lazy. We're going to do that old 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 that I always do. But now we're going to make a pointer, and we're going to call it a pointer again because I'm feeling kind of lazy. And we're going to have it point to array ints. And we're not going to have it actually point to the value array ints. We're simply going to have it point to the array itself. And so you might be a little confused as to what this does. And I want to show you, and I think that you'll kind of get a hint at why this is important. So we're going to do array ints, and I want to say that it should be, or no, I'm sorry. It should be a pointer plus, I want to say 0, should print out the, oh, my bad, I forgot the semicolon, should print out the first character in this array. And once again, I forgot my dereference operator. I'm doing very well right now. So you might be asking yourself, why is that important? And again, you would be very correct in asking that. Well, let's assume that I were to toss that in the middle of a for loop. We're going to just change it to a pointer, and then simply increment a pointer plus plus. Now, I just want to ask, does anybody think they know what is about to happen? Because if you know how I present material, I'm sure you know what happens by now, but the sheer fact of the matter is we can now access this array using a pointer. We no longer really need to use these counter variables. And it gives us a different way of initializing things and a different way of accessing data. It's not tremendously important that we utilize these, but it does make our life easier. Now, assuming I just wanted to access one spot in the array, let's say the third spot in the array, I could simply do this, a pointer plus 3, I want to say, should get me, I think that'll get me the 3 in the array. Yeah, so that's going to actually get me the 4th one in the array. So, because a pointer is actually pointing to this first spot, and then plus 3 would be, 1, 2, 3. So, pointers have a few different ways that you can access information that's stored inside of an array. It helps you access variables in different ways, and as you're going to see in the next few tutorials, it has a few interesting little uses that are going to make our life a lot easier. This is just an absolute primer into arrays. I don't want to get too into them because, the truth of the matter is they're kind of a black hole. If you want to learn everything there is to know about pointers, you're going to end up learning a lot of C, and that's kind of beyond the scope of what I wanted to teach. So for now, we're going to leave it at this, and I'm going to assign you a pretty easy homework assignment. I want you guys simply to make an array and using pointers, print it out in reverse order. That should be pretty easy. I think that you guys really shouldn't have a problem with that one, but you never know. I mean, could happen. For now, I'm going to wrap it up. This has been extremely... wow, that was a lot longer than I thought it was. I really didn't think that was 10 minutes. We'll keep it right here at 10.5 minutes. Thank you guys for watching, and have an excellent evening.